Something significant is happening in the car industry right now, and it's worth paying attention to. Not a gradual shift in design trends or a new take on interior materials, a full structural rewrite of what a luxury vehicle is supposed to be and what it's supposed to cost. The BYD Yangwang U8L is a 3.5-ton luxury SUV with 1,200 horsepower, a floating mode that keeps it buoyant in deep water for up to 30 minutes, a tank turn function that spins at 360 degrees on its own axis, and a roof-mounted drone hangar with an automated battery swap system. It makes a Rolls-Royce Cullinan look like it's been coasting on its reputation. The L in the name stands for long wheelbase, meaning BYD took the standard U8, which was already a serious machine, and extended it further for a dedicated rear seat experience. This isn't a novelty product. It's a direct challenge to every European and American luxury brand, currently charging north of $200,000 for an SUV. BYD calls the design language interstellar, and for once, that kind of marketing label actually fits. The front end is blocky and severe, a massive grille structure that blends continuously into the headlights, creating one unified dark panel when the car is parked and off. When you unlock it, the entire front section lights up with a matrix LED sequence that rolls across the face like a visual event. There's nothing subtle about it, and nothing is meant to be. On the roof, just above the windshield, are 3 raised housings that aren't styling elements, they're military-grade LiDAR units and night vision cameras. This car maps its environment in 3 dimensions continuously and can detect pedestrians and obstacles in complete darkness. At 5.4 meters long, it has the proportions of something squared off and deliberately dense, rather than the bloated softness that drags down a lot of large luxury SUVs. It looks heavy because it is heavy, and the design leans into that rather than apologizing for it. The 22-inch forged alloy wheels have a floating center cap. The Yangwang logo stays upright, while the wheel rotates exactly like a Rolls-Royce. On this particular edition, that cap isn't plastic or machined aluminum. It's copper and gold. That's not an accident. That's a very deliberate signal about exactly which market segment this car is targeting. Set into the D-pillar glass are 6 silver bars that function as an external battery indicator. When the car is charging, the bars light up progressively to show the charge level, visible from a living room window without opening an app or checking a phone. It's a small feature with a surprisingly large impact once you realize you've never thought to want it before. The suspension system underneath is hydraulic rather than air-based, which allows it to control oil flow to each shock absorber individually and instantly. The practical consequence of this is significant. If a tire loses pressure, the system detects it, physically lifts that corner of the car, and redistributes the load across 3 wheels. The car remains drivable at normal speeds to a repair shop without rim damage. The vehicle effectively refuses to be stopped by a flat tire. The E4 platform means 4 independent electric motors, 1 per wheel, with no drive shaft and no differential connecting left to right. Combined output is 1,180 horsepower. 0 to 60 takes 3.6 seconds. This is a 3-row family SUV, heavier than most compact trucks, running a quarter-mile time, that embarrasses dedicated sport cars. Because each wheel operates independently, the system can spin them in opposite directions simultaneously. Left wheels forward, right wheels backward, the car rotates on its own axis. This is the tank turn mode, and it works exactly as the name suggests. In a tight trail or a dead-end street, there's no reversing or 3-point maneuvering involved. The car simply pivots and faces the other direction. The powertrain is an EREV setup, extended range electric. A 2.0-liter turbocharged engine sits under the hood, but it has no mechanical connection to the wheels. Its only function is to act as a generator, charging the 49 kilowatt-hours battery while the car is moving. Pure electric range sits around 120 miles for normal daily use. And with the range extender active, total combined range exceeds 620 miles. The transition between modes is seamless, and the result is a large SUV that behaves like an EV in daily use, but never requires planning around charging infrastructure on longer trips. This is the feature that got the most attention when a U8L was first revealed, and it holds up under scrutiny. The entire structural core of the car is rated IP68 for water resistance. When sensors detect that the wheels have lost ground contact, a flood crossing, submerged trail, genuine emergency, the system responds automatically. Suspension rises to maximum height. Windows close. The sunroof opens slightly to maintain an escape route. Climate control switches to cabin recirculation. The car seals and floats. With each wheel spinning independently, they act as paddle wheels, generating enough directional thrust to steer and move forward at roughly 2 miles per hour. The system maintains buoyancy for up to 30 minutes. This isn't a manufacturer's theoretical claim, posted in a press release. There is footage of it working in open water. Whether someone will ever actually need to float their SUV across a flooded road is almost beside the point. The engineering required to make it possible says something real about how seriously this platform was developed. The running boards retract when the car is moving and drop down automatically as you approach. First contact with the interior experience before the door is even open. Inside, the material quality is consistent throughout. Nappa leather on the dashboard door pockets, ceiling panels, and the console sides where a knee rests naturally. There is no hard plastic in the cabin. The dashboard layout is symmetrical with a 12.8-inch curved OLED unit cascading down the center console and a 23.6-inch ultra-wide display spanning the driver's instrument area. The passenger gets an identical 23.6-inch screen. With a privacy filter from the driver's position, it reads as blank, while the passenger has full access to streaming, navigation, or the built-in karaoke system, which is a real feature that ships with factory microphones. Below the central screen, physical toggle switches control drive modes and climate. They're heavy, metal, and click with the kind of mechanical feedback that touchscreen controls have spent years unsuccessfully trying to replicate. The HVAC vents sit flush in the dash when the climate is off and rise upward when activated. It's a small mechanical detail that the cabin didn't need, and it's better for having it. The long wheelbase exists primarily for what's happening behind the B pillar. Rear legroom is generous enough that the floor space genuinely functions as living area. The seats are individual captain's chairs with zero gravity recline. Seat back drops to 45 degrees, the leg rest extends, a footrest lowers, and the massage function runs a program that covers the full back. A dedicated 8-inch touchscreen in the center armrest controls the rear environment independently. Sunroof, 127 color ambient lighting, audio, and the refrigerator. That refrigerator is a compressor unit, not a passive cooler. It reaches -6 degrees Celsius for frozen items or climbs to 50 degrees Celsius for warm drinks, and it holds a standard wine bottle. Upright, the rear passenger is in practical terms flying business class, except the vehicle is on a road doing it at legal highway speeds. On the Player Edition, the roof-mounted box is not for luggage. It is an automated hangar for a DJI drone. Pressing launch on the center screen opens the roof, a robotic arm lifts the drone clear, and the aircraft takes off and syncs to the car's GPS. Adventure mode instructs it to film the car from cinematic angles automatically, tracking shots, overheads, side profiles with a live feed displayed on the center screen. The effect is watching yourself drive in a third-person perspective while it's actually happening. When battery runs low, the drone returns, lands on the roof, and the robotic arm retrieves it. The system then swaps the depleted battery for a charged spare, internally charges the dead pack, and readies the drone for another flight, all while the car is in motion. There's no manual involvement required at any point in this process. Whether someone needs aerial footage of their commute is not the question. The question is what level of engineering ambition leads a car company to design and build that system and include it in a production vehicle. A base Rolls-Royce Cullinan starts at $400,000. Options push it well past $500,000. A Mercedes G63 AMG with typical dealer markup land around $200,000. A Range Rover SV is in similar territory. The Yangwang U8L in China starts at approximately 1.28 million renminbi, which converts to roughly 180,000 US dollars. That is less than half the price of the Cullinan and less than a loaded G-Wagon. The specification 1,180 horsepower, hydraulic suspension, floating capability, tank turn drive, drone hangar, 43-speaker equivalent audio, compressor refrigerator, full Napa leather throughout, and a rear cabin that competes directly with business class aviation is not the specification of a $180,000 vehicle by any existing market standard. This is not a product that got into the luxury conversation by being good value. It got there by being technically superior in most measurable categories and then pricing itself below the competition anyway. The import restrictions that keep it out of the American market aren't a mystery when you look at the numbers. A freely available U8L at that price point would create a very difficult conversation for every domestic and European brand currently selling on heritage and badge recognition alone. That conversation is coming regardless. It's just a matter of when.